You are watching KAVU 25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Seibel. A Cuero man took his own life while being served a felony warrant. This was on Friday at 3:22 p.m. when deputies from the DeWitt County Sheriff's Office were trying to serve a felony warrant to David Saldana, age 47, at 2119 Von Hafen Road when they heard a gunshot inside the house. That single gunshot went off as deputies were making entry into the house. Several attempts were made by law enforcement officers on the scene to contact him inside with no success. Around 8 p.m., troopers from the DPS SWAT made entry and found Saldana dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. He was pronounced dead at the scene by Justice of the Peace Precinct 1, Peggy Mayer. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is expected to head back to work after he was acquitted on 16 impeachment articles. During the historic two-week trial, state senators weighed 16 of the 20 original articles of impeachment approved by the House in late May, which accused Paxton of misconduct, bribery, and corruption, among other charges. Lawmakers found the Attorney General not guilty on every charge, mostly on a 14-16 vote. Paxton, who had pled not guilty to all of the charges, was not present in the chamber to hear his acquittal, but released a statement following the proceedings saying in part that the truth prevailed. Victoria-based adult daycare Affectionate Arms held a fundraiser this weekend. 25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick has more.
That's right, Adam. Affectionate Arms Adult Daycare hosted a walkathon Saturday morning. Participants walked through Ted B. Reed Park. Affectionate Arms used the walkathon to raise money for their facilities at the adult daycare, which is the only center of its kind in Victoria. The adult daycare's executive director, Mary Garcia, participated in the walkathon for this cause.
Well, the reason that it's so important because the people that need these services, which is the elderly and the disabled, those are the people that need our services because they need food, they need the meals, they need breakfast, they need a lunch that's hot, nutritious. They need to have the ability to interact with other people.
More than 30 people showed up to the walkathon for Affectionate Arms. The adult daycare set a fundraising goal of $10,000. The walkathon was only the beginning of their efforts for the facilities. Affectionate Arms Adult Daycare Center will host an open house Wednesday, September 20th from 10 a.m. until noon and an auction on Saturday, September 23rd. Adam, back to you.
All right. Well, thanks, Darius. Now it's time to talk weather on this Sunday night. Let's go ahead and check in with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon to see what the rest of your week will look like. Howie?
Thanks, Adam. I'll be staying on the slides here until I can get it going or off the wall. So, yeah, we had some showers that brought us some drier air. So these are temperatures I'm showing you, not real feel, or it is a real feel, but we're not doing heat indices because basically the ambient temperatures are down with the passage of that front drying out the atmosphere. So here's a look ahead at what we're doing. So look at this. In the mid-80s in the morning. We could still be maybe into the 95 range during the evenings, but hey, overall, temperatures are coming down with the passage of that last front. So this evening, we'll be in the 80s, but overnight, we're dropping down to 71 under mostly clear skies. Now, we're looking to stay above average all week, plus we could still see some rain chances, and I'll talk about that in my full forecast coming up in just a bit, Adam.
Thanks, Howie. For the third day, nearly 13,000 auto workers are on strike, shutting down production at plants in 3 states. The union has said they will expand to more plants if their demands are not met. There is news of some progress. No deal yet, but talks Saturday have been described as productive.
The United Auto Workers back at the negotiating table this weekend. The union said there were reasonably productive conversations with Ford on Saturday. Stellantis says it upped its offer to a nearly 21% increase for hourly wages, in line with earlier 20% offers from GM and Ford. But UAW President Shawn Fain tells CBS that offer from Stellantis is a no-go and said it would be a no-go for the other automakers as well.
We've asked for 40% pay increases, and the reason we asked for 40% pay increases is because in the last 4 years alone, the CEO pay went up 40%. They're already millionaires.
Among the union's demands, a return to pension plans, better retiree health care, cost of living adjustments, and a 40% pay increase.
From the workers' point of view, It's a matter of catching up and of protecting their jobs in the future. For the car companies, it's a matter of remaining competitive with non-UAW companies.
Nearly 13,000 union members walked off the job on Friday.
We have to do what we have to do to provide for our families, our future.
The big three automakers say their offers have been generous and that the union should be reasonable. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries traveled to Detroit Sunday to support the workers.
If you work hard and play by the rules, you should be able to provide a comfortable living for yourself, for your family, educate your children, purchase a home, and one day retire with grace and dignity.
The targeted strike already triggering temporary layoffs for 2,000 GM employees, Ford laying off 600. The UAW president outraged by the cuts, saying in a statement, they don't have to lay off a single employee. In fact, they could double every auto worker's pay, not raise car prices, and still rake in billions of dollars. Alex Brachet, ABC News, Toledo, Ohio.
Here's your viewer poll tonight. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote right now. Do you agree with the auto workers who are on strike for better pay? Looks like 40% say yes, you stand with them, and 60% say no. Thank you for voting. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate. 5 people were shot and hurt in downtown Denver last night. There are limited details at this time, but around 1:30 a.m., police posted about the shooting on X, formerly known as Twitter, and said 4 people were shot and taken to the hospital. They later added that a 5th victim was located. This morning, Denver Police Department said all 5 victims are expected to survive. Police said no suspects have been identified or arrested. Grab your cell phone, scan this QR code. That's a quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. Watch us anytime, anywhere, and get breaking news alerts and vote in our viewer polls. Learn all about our ongoing contests and submit news tips and photos. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 5:30. 1 child has died and 3 others hurt due to alleged fentanyl exposure at a New York City daycare.
All right, high pressure heading back in, dry air. So does that necessitate no rain? Well, we're going to talk about that coming up in a little bit.
After 1 child died and 3 others were injured due to fentanyl exposure at a New York City daycare. A man and a woman, Carlisto Avicendo Brito and Gria Mendez, were arrested Saturday night on murder charges as well as manslaughter, assault, criminal possession of a controlled substance and narcotic drug, and endangering the welfare of a child. This comes after the death of 1-year-old Nicholas Dominici. Authorities believe the impacted children suffered from exposure to fentanyl at the Bronx Daycare Center. Brito's and Mendez's relationships to the daycare has not been made clear at this time, and the investigation is ongoing. Search and recovery efforts continue in Libya after devastating floods left thousands dead and thousands more missing. The UN calling it a disaster of epic proportions.
It's been almost 1 week since heavy rain caused 2 dams in the mountains above the Libyan city of Derna to burst, sending a wall of water into the city, sweeping entire neighborhoods out to sea. Officials now say those dams hadn't been maintained in years, despite warnings. The view from the air shows the massive scale of this disaster.
Entirely throughout this region, every small town and village, you see clear signs of the destruction, of how powerful this storm was. Roads that have been washed away, cars overturned, homes that have whole holes punched through the side. As people throughout this region not only come to terms with the disaster, but have to start trying to rebuild.
Mohammed says his brother and his wife, along with their 3 children, are gone. They can't find their bodies. More than 11,000 men, women and children are dead. At least 10,000 more still missing, according to the UN. The World Health Organization says they've sent emergency aid to reach nearly 250,000 people. Vital supplies, including medicine and clean water, starting to arrive in Derna for so many in desperate need. This young Boy Scout now helping at an aid distribution center, saying, God willing, we'll have fulfilled our duty to the fullest extent, and God willing, every needy person will receive help. Ian Pannell, ABC News, Al Baida, Libya.
A Florida man has been found guilty of manslaughter in the fatal shooting of a Daytona Beach police officer. 31-year-old Othell Wallace also faced a first-degree murder charge, which carried a possible death sentence, but the jury opted for the lesser charge of manslaughter, meaning Wallace now faces a possible 30-year prison sentence. Wallace shot Officer Jason Raynor in June of 2021. He died weeks later in a hospital. Authorities say Officer Raynor tried to question Wallace outside an apartment when Raynor was shot. Wallace's attorney says he was acting in self-defense. The Daytona Beach Police Department released a statement calling the verdict disappointing and frustrating. Chief Jarek Young says he expected justice to be served in a manner that reflects the ultimate sacrifice made in the line of duty. The judge set a date for a sentence hearing in 60 days. 3 teachers in Philadelphia suing the school district after they say their pay was docked in retaliation for raising classroom health concerns.
This morning, public school teachers in Philadelphia suing the school district, claiming their First Amendment rights were violated as they protested the potential dangers of asbestos at their school. Those protests resulting in 2 days of docked pay.
As a teacher of 55 years, this is the first time I've gotten written up.
This after they assembled their workstation on the outdoor patio of the Julia R. Masterman Lab and Demonstration School, concerned about how asbestos in the building was being handled.
Sometimes there would be ceiling tiles that would perhaps come down.
The district closed 2 schools last April because of the presence of the potentially hazardous mineral fiber.
Not a lot of information was being shared by the school district of Philadelphia, despite multiple requests from families and from staff.
Asbestos is a dangerous substance that can increase the risk of pulmonary illnesses, including lung cancer. And because of that, there are federal guidelines outlined by the Environmental Protection Agency for the management of asbestos on public school property, including performing regular inspections and having an updated management plan for dealing with asbestos. A 2019 federal report identified over 100 confirmed or assumed sources of asbestos in the building. The Masterman teachers want an update on the district's progress. ABC News reached out to the school district for comment on the teachers' lawsuit, but was told they wouldn't comment on pending litigation.
Can we just make this right? Can we give these teachers what they deserve?
Phil Lipoff, ABC News, New York.
For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Strain will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. And you can also submit a local military heroes so we can recognize them.
We'll talk about our recent weather changes. Plus, the tropics are looking to avoid us, but hey, we're going to talk about them either way. All right. Zach knew what I was saying. He called me out already on it. Okay, so it's Sunday. Hey, we had some showers yesterday, a little bit cooler. We warmed back up today because we saw some more sunshine. Now, we had a lot of clouds and still some moisture, remnant moisture left behind from the front that passed through. So we did warm up pretty good, but I think we're going to warm up a little better as the week moves along. So a little cooler, sun and rain, very limited showers in the area today after the passage of that front, but still on the hot side. So here we go. Let's move ahead. We'll go to the next slide. Here's what we have here. So today, 94. As we cool down, we're still above average. This is right around the average high for the month of August, where we got nowhere near that. We were 100 plus right through the month of August. All right, record back in 1911, we were 100 plus degrees. All right, so future temperatures. Here's what we got for Monday. We'll continue to advance this along here. We'll click on the next one. Here's what we have. So future temperatures. Let's see, click. There we go. Let's see, this thing's not wanting to go. All right, having a little, okay. So back one, having a little bit of a technological difficulty here. We'll get through it though. So let's go through this one now. Future temperatures. So hey, look at this in the morning, still in the mid 80s. Let's go ahead later in the day. Here is what we have. Let's just go right through this slide. So temperatures, yeah, staying closer to 90, but we'll start to shoot up a little bit as the week moves along. So let's get through this slide here. I'm actually having Adam fast forward the slides for me because I'm having some clicker problems. Let's go to the next one, Adam. All right, here's what we got here. So future temps, let's get through this one. Okay, all right, dew points. Look at these numbers. We were 80, 78, 77, and now, hey, coming down, that front started ringing out the atmosphere, and now dew points on the lower side. Simon says, or Adam says, go ahead. Future feel-like temps. All right, let's go through this one. So these aren't as bad. Look at this. We're staying pretty much under 100 right through the area. This is our future feel like, but still, we're staying on the lower side. I'm not pointing at you guys. I'm just pointing to let Adam know we got to move on these slides here. So, yeah, temperatures down overall. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here's what we got now. Future feel like. We'll get through this slide. Sorry about that, guys. All right, next one. One more slide here. Oh, here we go. So future maximum. Here's what we got for the heat indices. Oh, we do go over 100 on Wednesday, but overall, look at this. Staying for the most part, above or below 100 with that real feel temperature. All right, now here is why all this is taking place. This is what we have here. What's going on? The front passed through. Now the dry air is moving down. Let's fast forward to the next little click here. The high starts coming our way. The drier air is moving in. Now, you know that high, when it was over us all summer long, what happened was it kept us on the dry side, the hot side. Now, even as it does move closer, we'll bring it a little closer now. As the high comes a little closer, what happens is this moisture is still moving in the lower levels underneath this dry air. So that might spike up a little wind, the dry air over the low-level moisture, but with that low-level moisture, yeah, we could see some showers develop. So, yeah, we could see some pop-up showers later on in the week. All right, here's the marine forecast. Here is what we got. So 86, that water's coming down. Seas 2 feet, bays on the smooth side. All right, here's what we got. So Nigel and Margot both staying in the middle of the Atlantic. And here's what's left of Lee. Yeah, battering Canada right now, but then got to head out into the open ocean. All right, here's what we got. So this evening we'll be in the 80s. Overnight, dropping down to 71 degrees, so a little bit on the cooler side. And looking ahead to the rest of the, or tomorrow, we'll go, I don't want to miss tomorrow, so Monday back to work, back to school, 95 and sunny. So hey, temperatures staying above average now. We'll take a look at what's going on the rest of the week. So for the most part, we'll see a lot of sun, but I talked about some low-level moisture moving in. Hey, they don't keep rain chances. They're going to be low and slim, but hey, they're a possibility. But for the most part, we're going to see lots and lots of sunshine. For more weather, news, and sports, you go to our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com. That is free, letting Android and iPhone. And now we go to sports with Zach.
All right, well, good job, Adam and Howie. The best time of the year, NFL Sunday, the Texans and Cowboys in action. I'll have that coming up in sports. Yeah, the Houston Texans welcomed the Indianapolis Colts for their first home game on the season, but it was the Colts who made themselves right at home. Houston came into today favored to win. Now, early on in this one, first-round pick Anthony Richardson gets drilled as he goes into the end zone. He would actually leave the game under concussion protocol, but the Colts still carved Houston's defense up. Now, C.J. Stroud saw some decent success, throws his first touchdown pass of his career to Nico Collins, but in the end, Houston takes the 31-20 loss as they fall to 0-2. But if you're a Cowboys fan, you were on cloud 9, hosting the Aaron Rodgers-less the New York Jets. The Cowboys jumped out to an early 10-0 lead to make that 50 straight unanswered points to start the year. They currently lead the Jets 27-10, but knocking on the door for more. Now some good news for my Houston fans. The Astros got a win over the Kansas City Royals this afternoon. The Astros have had their easiest stretch of the season and have not taken advantage of it, going 2-4 in their last 6. Luckily for them, the Rangers and Mariners not so hot either, so the Astros barely hanging on to first place. Well, hopefully we have this video. Prime time and his squad going at it, and what should have been a prime time start, the game of the year so far. Colorado State taking an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter on that pitch and catch, but Colorado not going down easy. With less than a minute to go, Shedeur Sanders has his man down the sideline, made the safety miss. They would also tie it on the 2-point conversion, and in overtime, they would win. They stormed the field afterwards, a game that ended past midnight and a game that Colorado was favored to win. Now, the Texas Longhorns got the win over Wyoming, but did not look great. Jonathan Brooks out of Hallettsville, though, looked great. Went off for the Burnt Orange with over 160 yards rushing. The Longhorns remain undefeated, sitting pretty at 3-0. Their next game will be conference play where they open up against the Baylor Bears. Other great news in Houston today, going back to the Texans. John Mechie missed all of last year with cancer, made his first career catch today. Certainly a feel-good story for the star out of Alabama. That's it for your sports. Adam, back to you.
All right, thanks, Zach. Coming up, bears with the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center were able to feast on some rather large vegetables. I invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Bears with the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center were able to feast on some vegetables. Every year, one of the main attractions at the Alaska State Fair is the giant prized vegetables with record-breaking pumpkins, cabbage, and squash. Alaska is said to be the land of the midnight sun, which is why it's believed to produce vegetables that grow to such a large size. However, once Harvest Fest comes to an end, the giant produce is donated to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center, and the bears seem to enjoy their donation of leftover veggies from the state's annual fair, as they could be seen chowing down on their new food items.
I've gone to the Alaska Fair. I went 2 or 3 years in a row. Very nice. Yeah,
Wow.
A lot of food there. I guess they're putting the leftovers to use with some of those bears out there. That was summer in Anchorage, huh? The fair is a little bit, about 45 minutes outside of Anchorage. But hey, they brought the veggies in for those bears to have a little bit of a feast.
Yeah, they look to like it.
All right, so let's take one last look at weather. Hey, it's been the news around here. After a super hot, dry, hot summer, we finally saw some showers. Now, dry air moved down into the area. High pressure moved in as well, and it's moving in as we speak, and that should keep us on the dry side. But some of that low-level moisture moving in, yes, that could be enough moisture along the sea breeze and the sun heating us up to stabilizing us. That could trigger some showers during the week, but I'm keeping those chances 20 to 30. Best chance is going to be out on the coast or really over the open water. So we'll be 83 tonight. Overnight, oh, it's just flying on me here. So let's go back a little bit. I don't know what's going on today here. Overnight, 71. And then tomorrow, up to 95 degrees. All right, looking ahead to the rest of the week. Here is what we have. So heat indices, for the most part, looking to stay at or pretty much under 100. But look at our highs. They'll still be in the mid to upper 90s. That is above average for this time of year. That's where we should have been last month. Hey, we're still roasting away here in South Texas.
I was gonna say, it's going to feel cool to us, though. I felt cool at 91.
94, nice little cool down.
I love
We'll
it.
take it, yeah.
We'll take it for sure.
All right.